It's currently 8:37 p.m. and this is where I am currently on the third Inca polystyrene drawing project. I didn't spend much time working on this polystyrene drawing project today. Maybe about somewhere between 15 to 30 minutes total during the early evening hours using this ultra fine default yellow Sharpie marker to make some corrections to the jawline to get it as close as possible to the shape I see in the reference image. As of 8:47 p.m., I don't really feel hungry even though I haven't eaten anything since around 7:15 in the morning. When I had a Premier Protein branded vanilla protein shake with 4 sunny side up eggs and the leftover cut up and prepared pork from yesterday's my dinner video. Which finished uploading to my YouTube channel around 3 hours and 15 minutes ago. I edited that U-Cut video project right before the start of my shift at Wegmans, which was from 8 in the morning to 4:30 p.m. I primarily edited that U-Cut video project. Then, and during my 2 15-minute breaks and my 30-minute lunch. I took my first 15-minute break around noon, my 30-minute lunch around 2:30 p.m., and my second and last 15-minute break around 4 p.m. During my second 15-minute break, I completely finished editing that U-Cut video project and started converting the project into a 1080p quality U-cut video file, as by then there was only a little editing left to do. And even that was basically thinking about last minute decisions. During my shift at Wegmans today, I primarily restocked a combination of the front sections and front displays of the produce department, the banana section a few times at the very back of the produce department, and the hard items section right in front of the banana section. The banana section is like this, and the hard item section is like this, and predominantly consists of varieties of onions and potatoes. For the front sections and front displays of the produce department, I restocked some whole paper bags of sweet corn by dumping the sweet corn onto its section within the farmer's market stand style display. Within the produce department, some boxes of zippable open plastic bags of seedless grapes, some mini seedless watermelons from the top level of my designated cart for today, some cardboard boxes of orange dew melons, cantaloupes, and honeydew melons, at 2 points during the first half of my shift or so, I restocked the 2 flat open displays for regular seedless watermelons at the front entrance of the supermarket closest to the produce department. I recall each time only one large octagonal cardboard container, or bin as they're called, with some regular seedless watermelons had to be transported from the section of the employees only warehouse for those who work in the produce department to that front entrance, pulling the bin on the forks of a hand jack from the back, which took a minute or two. The second time I pulled the hand jack, and reloaded those regular seedless watermelons all by myself. And the first time a female coworker with brown hair, usually worn in a single ponytail, whom I'm pretty familiar with at this point, pulled the hand jack, and she and I worked together to transport maybe either a little more or roughly the same regular seedless watermelons as when I restocked them all by myself. During my 30-minute lunch, I spent a few minutes walking to the cafe part of the supermarket, and I just sipped at a 20-ounce paper cup filled with cool cooler water, both from the break room. I had used that same paper cup during the part of my shift prior to me taking my first 15-minute break to occasionally sip at a full glass of cool cooler water with that paper cup being held in the back. Rather than either on my designated cart for today or within the produce department itself. Throughout my shift today, I would occasionally offer assistance to a passing customer. Each time they said, "No thanks." Occasionally, a passing customer would get my attention requesting assistance, usually looking for a specific product within the produce department, and I would do my best to look for that product. If it wasn't on the floor, I would look for it in the back. I would first look for it myself, and then if I didn't find it, I would try to ask a nearby coworker if we had it. This is what I do every shift. And that way, sometimes I found what the customer was looking for, and other times not. In which case, I would tell them, essentially, "Sorry, we don't have it." And then sometimes, maybe we'll have it later. But in every case, I tried my best to assist every passing customer that got my attention, which happened occasionally throughout my shift. My mom both drove me to the Wegmans I work at and picked me up from there. As she was picking me up, we went on a medium length shopping trip at our local Home Depot. From which I got a somewhat heavy duty clear plastic bin with a yellow plastic lid, both of which came out to be about 45 inches wide. And most recently, I brought that bin to my room upstairs. And spent about 15 minutes or so using it to finally put away some particularly large or particularly long older completed polystyrene drawing projects from either 2021 or 2017, based off of looking at the timestamps I drew for those projects upon completing them. In total, a handful of completed polystyrene drawing projects that had previously been left out in the open all this time are now safer in a plastic bin, which I'm happy with. For each completed polystyrene drawing project, I put away in that big plastic bin. I made an effort to wipe off dust, primarily with my right hand while holding the drawing with my left hand. I woke up for the last time today, naturally, around 5:15 in the morning. And then got up for today about 15 minutes later. I got an aluminum can kiwi guava flavored Celsius energy drink from the kitchen downstairs and would occasionally sip at it from then until about 7 in the morning. In my room upstairs. I first woke up today naturally around 1:30 in the morning before falling back asleep within a handful of minutes. And then I woke up again naturally around 3:30 in the morning before falling back asleep within a few minutes. In total, I recall getting somewhere between 5.5 and 6 hours of sleep. Here's where I am currently in terms of clearing out the ancient city on Oceania.